Attack on Titan is a piece of media that gets better as it goes on, and I can say that with utmost confidence. You started off with an above average and good season with season 1, which the pacing really was the main problem of that season. Then we proceeded with season 2, when you really went to the complexity of some of the characters like Reiner, Emir, Bertolt, and Historia, who we knew from season 1 and we really thought as just background characters. Then season 3 part 1 went full politics, exploring the world building of this world and doing the good thing from season 2, which was exploring more of the side characters. And then you had season 3 part 2.
いや違う。あの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ。あの勇敢な死者を、哀れな死者を思うことができるのは聖者である我々だ。我々はここで死に、次の聖者に意味を託す。それこそ唯一この残酷な世界に抗う術なのだ。兵士を怒れ、兵士を叫ぶ、兵士を戦え。
Great as the entirety of Season 4 is, Season 3 Part 2 reigned supreme as the best season of Attack on Titan. Here is a deep analysis of why Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 is pure perfection. Before I start the video, I'd just like to thank you guys for the immense support that you've shown towards my first ever video on the channel. I really am taking this YouTube thing seriously, and the fact that my first video did that well just means so much to me, and I hope you guys enjoy more of the content I'm about to make. I'd also heavily appreciate it if you were to subscribe to my channel. If you guys want more of this type of content, subscribing is free, and I would greatly appreciate it if you did so. Also, if you guys want to see my opinions on movies, TV shows, anime, film, etc., check out my letterbox, which I will link in the description below. One thing I can compliment about Attack on Titan as a whole is that the stakes and risks are very high always, as you always had 2 or 3 somewhat major side characters that were in the midst of dying, and it made the viewers ask, is this character actually going to die? That's good for a show like Attack on Titan, or any show in general, if you're willing to put 2 or 3 of your major characters in the chopping board. But in this season, man, you literally didn't know who would live and who would die. Everyone you loved, you know, no matter if their arc was complete or not, except for Eren, had a chance of dying. Season 2 and Season 3 built up the complexity of these characters, and Season 3 Part 2 was like the climax and the culminating of all that build up, where you would find out if these characters would actually achieve their goals or ultimately become a great tragic character because of that tragedy. Each character, no matter how important they are all at the risk of dying, and this just made the experience much more seat-gripping. Over the course of Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3 Part 1, this season felt like the culmination of everything. Ever since the first episode of Attack on Titan, we were given the mystery of the basement to chew on. And the fact that we are writing and sacrificing everything going back to Shiganshina, this was the season where we would finally get that mystery solved. Although this isn't the climax because we have Season 4 to tackle, based on everything we know of the story so far, this was the climax. We have returned to Shiganshina with two opposing sides at war, the humans and Titans. Will the scouts retrieve Shiganshina, or will the Titans prevail? This felt like the conclusion of the story. The characters are fighting for everything they stand for by going back to Shiganshina. Eren and Mikasa are going back to their home. Armin is getting closer to achieving his dream of reaching the sea. Jean is at the highest of his ideals of being a scout serving for his people, and Erwin is on the verge of finally getting the answer his father sought for. Everything just felt like it was going to get resolved and end in this season, making it more engaging and much more interesting. What is the secret being hidden in the basement? Is the war against the Titans truly over? This was the season where it felt like the true climax of the story. Every episode was all the characters giving it their all to win this fight, and you're rooting for all of them to prevail.
Don't fight for his kingdoms. Don't fight for honor, don't fight for glory. Don't fight for riches because you won't get any. This is your city Stannis means to sack. That's your gate he's...
Strategy. Another factor in which what makes this season so great is the strategy and tactics that are in here. Each plan is so well thought out and so holistically made out that it looks like Tyrion planning the Battle of Blackwater Bay up in this shit. From Armin's time buying when it comes to taking out Bertolt's Colossal Titan, and to Erwin's insane and brilliant plan to taking down Zeke's Beast Titan. Each plan is so brilliant in the fact that in making the plans, they factor in every aspect that could make that plan fail. And Isayama is so brilliant in tackling every single aspect and every single possible plot hole that could make these plans not work. This is the season where every choice that will be made is met with consequence that will alter and drive the direction of the story. Each choice is so grave and important to the narration of the story, and each simple choice made can change so much already. The first one that encapsulates the theme of consequence and choice is Bertolt's upbringing in the episode Descent. He develops from his old ways of only following Reiner's choices and not having the courage to kill the quote-unquote comrades he made in the scout training days to someone who is willing to kill everyone in this island and sacrifice his friend Reiner to achieve his goal as a warrior. And he understands that Armin and the others are all innocent people, but he just has to do his duty because the world we live in is a cruel place. Then going to Erwin's choice of sacrificing his selfish and human ideals and ultimately sacrificing his life's dream of trying to find out his father's theory for the prevalence and the victory of the scouts to be achieved. Then you had Levi, who chose to take time with killing Zeke because he thought he would still had a chance to revive someone. This resulted in Zeke living. Similar to Erwin, Armin chooses to sacrifice his dream of reaching the sea because the mission was more important to him. And then you had Jean choosing to tell Hanji not to kill Reiner, which resulted in Reiner living. And the most glaring one that expounds the theme of consequence and choice is the conflict on the choice of reviving Erwin and Armin. And the choice that they make results in the choices that Armin makes in Season 4. If Erwin was picked, an even more different story would occur than the one that we already have, as I could see a world where Erwin would side with Eren in his plan to destroy the entire world. This season showed the consequence of each choice the characters make, and how choosing something while thinking of the possible consequences is important. And that is why Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 is pure perfection. I just like to elaborate the fact that all of the seasons of Attack on Titan are at least good to amazing. But this season just got everything so right that it took everything good about the show, expounded them, and added it all into one season. I'd like to thank you guys for watching and suggest some Attack on Titan videos you want me to make. Again, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It's free and it would really help my channel as I'm really taking this YouTube thing seriously. Again, that was all for today's video. I'll see you guys later.